Hello, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday, or whatever day you are watching the replay. But it is day 2 of our Heart to Heart invitation to meditation, and I am just overwhelmed with so much excitement about the responses to yesterday. Not only those who reposted their post for the day, which was Child's post, but those who commented about how they can delight in God, which was our reflection question, and those who sent me DMs just about how their experience was with the meditation. It truly warms my heart. My only prayer for this offering that I have is that the people that it's supposed to reach are the people who that it reaches. And yeah, I'm not gonna cry thug tears, but today is day 2, and today our focus is committing our actions to God. And when we commit our desires and actions to God, what that really means is that we are surrendering them to God's will. And that is one of the hardest things, I believe, at least for me. And that's understanding that there are moments when operating in God's will means leaving our desires behind. And I want to be very careful when we think about what it means to leave our desires behind. It isn't that, we can't do what we want or anything like that. But it's like there's some times where we have desires, we have thoughts, we have ideas, and it's just not God's will for us to bring that into fruition. Or it is God's will, but maybe not in that season, or not with those people, or maybe you have a different role to play. Like there are so many, it's nuanced, right? So it's not just when I commit my actions to God that I leave behind everything that I want. It's not necessarily that. And remember, yesterday's verse was when we delight in God, God gives us those desires. So it's when we take that time to really delight in God, we will start to see that the desires of our hearts will align with God's will. So I just really wanted to say that, because I don't, a lot of people in bad theology will tell us that like you're living in the flesh. And it's like, no, that's not it. It's like, are you operating in God's timing? Are you operating in the season that God has called? Because listen, God will give me an idea and I won't sit long enough to hear the rest of the details. I'll be like, let's implement this now. So it's like, how do we sit in delighting in God to get all of the details, understanding the timing, understanding the people who we're supposed to be working with, understanding the job role that we're supposed to take, understanding the route that we're supposed to take when we get on the highway. Have you ever had like that feeling that sometimes we'd be like, something told me not to get on the highway? That's God. Like that's the Spirit, right? So do we sit long enough in delighting in God? Do we listen long enough? Do we remove distractions to where we are confident that we are hearing God's voice to hear those things? Or are we just operating in however we want to operate? And when we commit our work to God, He promises to bless our efforts according to His perfect will, beyond our understanding. And some of the ways that shows up is like resources just align. The money just aligns. The people just align. And it's like, I know God is in this. And it doesn't mean that everything is going to be perfect. But when things are not, you have this sense of peace because I'm in alignment with God. So I trust that God is going to give me the guidance on how to navigate through these rough times of whatever it is that God has given me, right? Like, it's that peace beyond our understanding when you know that you are operating in God's will. And we must be willing to lay aside our own desires in faith and humility in order to feel that. So that's what we are going to focus on today. So our pose for today is an easy seat. So that can be a couple of things. I'm gonna scoot back. So for me, you can really sit like, ankle to ankle. You can sit more cross-seated. I like to come in half lotus, where I will bring one foot up to my hip crease. Or a full lotus is in your practice and your hips are ready for that. That is not in my practice, but you can definitely do that, right? Our focus here in our easy seat is how our spine is aligned. So even if you want to sit with your back against the wall, stack your ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. And then roll your shoulders down and back. And I'm also sitting on a bolster, but you can sit on a blanket or a pillow or whatever. This helps elevate my hips. And take this moment to come to your breath. And allow your hands to fall however you want them to fall. Maybe they're palms down on your knees. This can symbolize that you're grounding. Palms up can symbolize that you are in a state of receiving. You have the option to close your eyes, or maybe you focus on a spot that's not moving. And take notice of how you are breathing without any judgment. So maybe your breath is really fast. Maybe you're breathing from your chest. And there's no judgment here. And find space for gratitude for your breath. Thanking God for each inhale, each exhale. And knowing that that's an indicator that you're still here. If you're still here, you still have purpose. And begin to take deep inhales from your belly. Feel your belly all the way up. Feel your chest expand. And on your exhale, sigh it out. Take a deep inhale from your belly. Feel your ribs expand. Imagine the breath flowing from your belly all the way to the top of your head. And on your exhale, sigh it out. Take a deep inhale from your belly. Hold your breath and bring your chin down to your chest. And on your exhale, bring your chin back to neutral. Deep inhale. Hold, chin to chest. Exhale, chin back to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep inhale. Hold to release your chin to your chest. Exhale, chin to neutral. And I invite you to continue taking these deep inhales and exhales, taking full advantage of our breath here as we navigate in our meditation. So yesterday we left off with delighting in God at our favorite location that brings us peace, doing our favorite pastime activity. Maybe it was by the lake or at your house or in a park, at a museum. Journey back to that space with God. Journey back to the joy that you felt and take a moment to feel those sensations in your body. Maybe it brings a smile to your face. And imagine that you have picked up this very big book that you have written all of your goals and desires in. You've cut out pictures, you have quotes, you have inspiration, you've wrote whole plans. And you start to present that to God, and you're so proud of yourself. God, look at all of these things that I have planned for my life. Look at what type of relationships I said I would have by what age. What type of job I would have. How many kids I would have. What type of house I would be living in. What my business would look like. What my offerings for my business would look like. Look, God, I have it all laid out. And God smiles and affirms you. No shame. He says, well done. This is very laid out. And as you're showing God this book, you start to hold it very close to your heart. And as you do that, God holds out their hands and says, will you surrender this over to me? Notice the feelings in your body when God asks you to surrender all of your plans that you have worked so very hard to construct over. Is there feelings of anxiety? Are you scared to do so? And know that those feelings are valid, but also look at God smiling back at you and saying, trust me. You have a decision to make. Will you decide to surrender your plans over to God? Or will you continue to hold them tight to your heart? No shame. It's your decision. And I invite you to make that decision now if you're ready. Or maybe you're not ready yet and you can revisit our meditation at another time. And take a moment to scan your body. Maybe your shoulders have tensed up a little bit. And if so, roll them down and back. Find ease in your body. Find ease in your spirit. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, collecting all of the beautiful energy we created today. Exhale, palms to touch, and in between your eyebrows, I pray that your thoughts are pure. To your mouth, I pray that you speak with compassion. And to your heart, I pray that you radiate love. It was an absolute honor to lead you through your meditation today. Thank you for showing up for yourself. The love in me honors and sees the love in each and every one of you. Amen and Ashe. And you can decide to stay here in this beautiful moment. Or you can take some time for reflection to journal how you felt in this moment. Thank you all so much. You all have a beautiful day.